Welcome back, my DIY nomads. I hope you guys are doing really well today. Just a couple of things I wanted to show off in this video. Nothing major, nothing long, nothing spectacular, but a few little notes. I just wanted to show you what I've been doing in the background. Also, I'm going to be having a little Christmas break for 2 weeks. I'm just going to have 2 weeks off. No YouTube, no work, no nothing. Just chill out, reset and get ready for the new year. But I did have one exciting parcel arrive the other day. My foam with Dacron adhered to the top, and it's also adhered to the bottom, and then wrapped in stockinette. And then I've also, when I pull out this one, so obviously there will be a board that goes on top of there, but then this little piece will go on there, and then the board will rise it up to the same height. But there you've got the L-shaped sofa, or you've got the bed, and then there's like the bit that will be the table underneath. And then they all just like they'll just stack away and hide away underneath the bed area, which is great. And they are very comfy. Only problem is because there's Dacron on both sides, they've lifted it up higher than I want it to be. So I'm going to have to remove the Dacron on one side of all the cushions just to like take it down a little bit. Leading on, another new addition is this part of the bed structure. This will house the electrical side of things, and also underneath, you know, because the bed's going to basically sit on top here, and that will house up those cushions, the electrical stuff. And boom, my very awesome Victron EasySolar system. So this is really cool. Very bloody expensive, but really cool. This is my inverter, hookup charger, and MPPT charger all in one, and it has all the fuses all ready to rock and roll. You basically just connect it up to your battery. It has 3 different points for solar PV panels to connect to, and then it has a bunch of points for 240 volt sockets, which is great. So it's all compacted into one neat tidy box, and then that goes very nicely with my 2 lithium batteries. I've gone for 2 110 amp hour lithium batteries that I'm going to run in parallel, which will give me 220 amp hours of lithium, which is insane. So we're going to have a proper meaty system in this van. And yes, I know this is all very expensive stuff, but as this is my go all out van, I thought it was good. Plus, where I got this from, this isn't a sponsored video, but I got this from a company called Battery Megastore. Some of you might have heard of it. And because it was the first time to the website, I was just sort of like messing around on the website, having a look at stuff. I got a little voucher thing pop up, and it said 10% off your first order. And then these batteries were partially on sale. Not a huge reduction, but a small reduction. So I got those and the Victron thing with 10% off, and I saved myself an absolute ton of money. Actually, it might have been 5%. It was either 5 or 10%, but I played around on the site for a while and it came up. So very useful. Now, leading into that, I did some work the other day. I shared it on Instagram, got a lot of love from it. I attached my 240 volt hookup and my water inlet, but I attached them to the van in a different way than I usually have before. I didn't have to drill into the metal of the van. I drilled into the plastic of the bumpers. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip back to past Hugh and show you basically me fitting them. It's not the most in-depth guide, but it does show you sort of what I did to get the 240 volt hookup on one corner and the water inlet on the other one, lead it into the van without having to drill any holes in any metal, and get them to the points that I need them to get to. So let's get back to that now. Right everyone, I was trying to think about options in regards what to do for my 240 volt hookup and my water hookup, like my water inlet bits. And you know me, I'm a stickler. I really don't like to keep cutting loads and loads of holes in the van. I like to have as fewer holes in the van as possible. And I might have just stumbled across a great little hack that I don't know whether it will work on other vans, but it definitely works on the Boxer. I'm going to show you. So when I got my van, it came with these like lights on, and they're just so ugly and horrible and completely useless for me. So I was going to look at removing them. And so what I did is I removed the other side panel, and I realised there's actually a ton of space back here before it even gets to the metal. And that made me think, all my water's on this side and all my electricity's on the other side. if I just take these out and swap them for the water inlet bit and the electric hookup bit, then I don't have to cut a hole in the metal. Turns out it was going to be a great idea. So I had to remove this bit so I could access it, which required removing the light, undoing a bunch of bolts. This is actually really well put on, to be honest. It's like 6 bolts just holding this one bit of plastic on. But the great thing is, if this turns out to be a really bad or crap idea, or for some reason something goes wrong, I only have to replace this bit of plastic rather than me cutting a hole in the wrong place inside the van. And there's this air vent down here that I'm leading the cable through, and that's where the cable for the lights was coming through anyway, which is great. So I got this very nice Victron 240 volt hookup point. I've just fitted it basically where the light was going to go, fed the cable through the same place, and I'll put this all back together and I'll show you in a second. There we go, guys. I've got a 240 volt hookup point fitted on the back of my van without having to drill a hole into the steel. And the great bit is, this bump stop protects it, so if I reverse into a wall it's not going to get crumpled. It's really well protected from in there, especially from like splashes and everything like that. I'd have to be submerged up to, like, this thing is watertight on the outside, but I'd have to get it submerged up to here, which by that point I'm pretty screwed anyway, before water actually even would be able to get to the electronics at the back there. So all I'm going to do is follow exactly the same principle and fit my water inlet point here. If you are interested in doing a similar thing, remove the bump stop here, so you undo this Allen key, and then it sort of rocks back and then up, sort of twists out like that. Then I would just undo all the screws for the rear bumper piece. You can then undo the 2 bolts here and here. You'll then need to remove the rear light. There's two weird nuts that I'll show you in a second from the other side, and there's like one here and one down here, so you'll have to remove this bit of plastic. But they look like this, and you can use a 17mm socket to get them off. There's one here, and then there's one just through here. Now I just need to disconnect that cable, and now we can access that bolt. This next bit's actually the trickier of the bits to do. You can either remove this panel by undoing all the bolts, and then you need to slide it towards the rear, or you can sort of just peel it away, and the poppers will either pop out or they'll like sort of bend out. I'm just going to sort of peel it away. I only need to just sort of undo one, and then I can access that bolt there and that bolt there. There is a third one down there, but I don't necessarily need to undo it because this will pull away far enough for me to do the work that I need to do. So that's where I'm going to do it. Right, there we go. I can sort of just peel it back a little bit without putting too much stress on that lower tab. I can get to this light at the back, undo it, and then fit my water inlet point. Right, got my water filler cap on there. Now, oh god, it's just starting to rain. I've got it mounted, I've bolted it on there. The great thing is, because this isn't obviously going into the steel of the van, I haven't used Sikaflex, I've just used the rubber seal that was on the outside of there and bolted it to this piece of plastic. And if there's ever any leaks here, it doesn't really matter anyway, because it will just drain out the bottom of the van, which is great. The only bad thing about this side is because I had a reversing beeper, I did have to move it down there. Oh my god, the rain is starting to come down, I might have to go inside. But the pipe does go into the inside of the van. It's not flexing too much that it means it's kinking, which is perfect. So another solid little upgrade to the van. Right, we've got our water inlet point. This is a Bullfinch water inlet point. Really like them. They've even got like an air pressure release thing, so you don't get like an air pressure build up in your water tank if you don't have a pressure release system on your tank. Plus, I'm pretty certain, I will double check this, but you don't need a one-way valve to your water tank when you've got one of these Bullfinch things. but I will test that out a bit further. And then on the other side we've got my Victron hookup point, which is awesome. So I think that's a great little result. And now that those 2 points are fitted, this is where my water's coming in. So I've got my 15mm cold water blue pipe, and I'm going to run that from roughly over this area to my water tank that will be here. I won't make it look horrible, it's all going to look pretty nice and cool, but I just have lots of excess pipe just in case. And then on the opposing corner, because I'm obviously, as I've said before, I'm trying to keep electric on one side and water on the other, I've got my hookup cable ready to plug into my EasySolar system. And what I just like about trying out this method compared to all the other times when I've drilled holes in the side of the van is that it looks a little bit more stealthy. And if I was to paint or coat or even just cover up, like maybe even vinyl wrap those hookup points in a darker colour to match the bumper, it would make the van look even more stealthy. So if you really wanted to go properly down the stealthy route and still have hookup points, then it's a really good alternative. Plus, if it really doesn't work out, then all I have to do is replace 2 small bits of plastic trim rather than trying to fill, cover up or whatever a metal hole in the side of the van, which would be such a big job. So really, let's bring on 2021. It's going to be an absolute banger. We're going to be getting so much cool stuff done. I'm excited to fit the diesel heater and see what that experience is like. Yeah, it's amazing. It seems to be coming together really quickly, but at the same time there's so many jobs to get done. And I've also seen a really cool idea for a shower that isn't like full height walls, so I might be trying that out so that you can still use the space, so it's not just always a shower / bathroom area, which is cool. But yeah, I'm gonna have my 2 weeks off. I'll catch you guys in the new year. Happy holidays to everyone, even if you're not celebrating Christmas. Happy holidays anyway. And yeah, I'll catch all you DIY nomads next time.